Hello and welcome. I am Ruth Bishop from the exercise referral team in Newport. Today we're going to do a strength and balance class. So hopefully you're all feeling fit and well. You've got somewhere safe to work. So there's nothing around you like cables over there which are actually out of my way. You've got a drink available should you need one. Hopefully you've taken your medication. You've got a phone at hand should you need to phone somebody if you're not feeling well. Don't forget, if you're not feeling well, please stop the exercise and get help. All right. So let's make a start then with the warm up. So if you're sitting on a chair that's not likely to collapse, that it's nice and sturdy, it's not going to slip on the floor, you've got good lighting, places to work. I want you to sit on the front third of your chair. So from here we need you on the front third. So it's a hip walk kind of movement. This is if you want to rest, and then hip walk to the front, and that's going to be your working position. So the things that you're going to need for today's class would be something like an exercise band, something like this. Just stretch it to make sure there's no holes in it. There we are. I'm just going to put mine on the back of the chair where it is safe and out of the way. So sitting on the front third, chest lifted, shoulders are back and down, head back in line with your spine, and we're just going to go for a march to start with. Now if you don't want to do this seated, you can actually stand up to do your warm-up. So you can either stay here or you can come around the back of your chair and you can march on the spot. Let me just move this to the side for the moment. We're just sort of building up and increasing our heart rate, increasing the circulation at the moment, and after a few minutes you might feel a little warm. So I'm going to sit back down again, so keep going, just steady marching. As you're putting your feet down, try and put the ball of your foot down rather than your heel first, so that you're not stamping your feet on the floor. We want to try and protect your bones as we get older, as they get a little bit more fragile. So from here then, let's start by tapping your toes now then. As you're tapping, I want you to take those elbows backwards. Now, as you're taking those elbows backwards, the movement is coming from my shoulder. Okay, so there we are, and you can tap your toes while you're doing that at the same time. Relax your hands. That's it. So you've got nice long fingers, but they are relaxed. They're not pointed, straight, they're relaxed. That's it. Well done. So just mobilising those shoulders, again increasing circulation. So from there then, let's have a look at a few mobility movements. And yes, I am on the front third of the chair. All right, so you're going to start by lifting your shoulders up. Keep those toes tapping or marching on the spot if you're standing, and then lower your shoulders. Let's do that again. Up they come, and then down. That's two, and two more. Up, and down, and again. Up, and down. And you might want to hold on to the chair, lifting that chest. Well done. Whilst you're marching again, you can do one arm as well if you want to. So hopefully you're all feeling well. It's a long time since I've seen you all. What about you? Have you put any weight on over this lockdown period? And the other one? I have. Eating differently, I think that's what it is. Well done. And back. Let's tap your toes again. Few more mobility movements. Chest lifted again. palms forward, tapping your toes. If you're standing, you want your feet slightly wider apart. You're going to reach down to the side and back up again. And again, down the other way. And up. This really is going sideways, as if you're reaching down between two chairs. Well done. And we're just mobilising your lower back. Last one now. Nice, easy breathing. And back to that march again. Again, you can do this standing. Then go back to your shoulders. We're going to roll them backwards. So I'm going to do this once sitting down and then 3 times standing. So it goes up, back, squeeze and slide. And as I stand up now, carry on while you're doing that. So it's up, back, squeeze and slide. 2 more. Up, back, squeeze and slide your shoulder blades down the back. Well done. Lovely. Okay, so still marching, even if you're seated, keep marching. Next one I want you to do is going to be a ankle mobiliser. So it's a heel and a toe. So we want maximum range of movement in your ankle, heel and toe. Heel and toe. One more. Heel and a toe. Well done. If you're seated, it's exactly the same. A heel and a toe. Try and get that big range of movement in your ankle. It's not your knee that's moving, it's your ankle. One more. Well done. And back to a march again. Alright, so the next one now is your upper back mobiliser. So feet a little bit wider apart maybe. You might want to put your hands out in front of you, and you're just going to twist your shoulders around to the side and then back to the middle again. Okay, round you go. Take your head with your hands around to the side. Okay, it's your shoulders that are leading the way. You might want to take a breath in as you go round and a breath out as you come back. So this is really helpful, little exercise to help you roll over in bed, keeping your spine mobile. So you can get that twist so that you can roll over. One more on each side, trying to fit your seat belt in on the car. It's another one where you might need this kind of movement. Well done. And then back to a march. So if you were standing doing that, make sure that you were doing that from your hips, not from your feet. Let me just show you there. Just march on the spot while I demonstrate. So you want hips staying here, shoulders going around to the side. Okay, it's not that. All right, it's not that. Okay, back to that march again. So have a little practice of that one if you're finding that one particularly stiff, as it really is quite an important movement to do. How about stretching those legs out in front of you now then? That's it, heels forward. Stretch those legs out. It's a lot easier if you're on the front third of the chair. If you're in a comfy lounge chair, it may be a little bit low and not sturdy enough to do these exercises. So you might want to change to maybe a dining room chair, might be a little bit better for you. And we're going to change this again now. So we're going to take your knees out to the side this time. Out, one out and back. One out and back. It is your knee that's going out to the side. If you're standing, it does look slightly different. So I'll just stand and show you that one now. So if you're behind your chair, I'm just going to move mine out the way so that you can see. You're just going to tap to the side. Tap to the side. That's all you have to do if you are standing. So hopefully you're all feeling okay. You might feel that you're a little bit warmer at the moment. Don't forget to have a sip of water if you need one as we're going along. Well done. Okay, so we're going to do another mobiliser now, and that one's over your head. So feet about hip width apart, standing or sitting, and I want to put your hand on your head, maybe put your hand on your hip, and you're going to reach over the top of your head and back. Okay, and again up over the top and back. Let's try that the other way now then. Hand on your head to start with, reach over the top of your head and back. Alright, and on your head, make sure again that you are going sideways and that your hand is not coming in front of your face. Well done. Back to a march. Alright, so let's see now if we can increase the tempo of the movements we're doing. Again, you can either stay seated or you can stand up and come around the back of your chair. Let me just show you whilst you're marching how to get up from the chair. If you're on the front third of your chair, keep marching, hip walk to the front, bring your heels back a little bit, nose over knees and power up. Once you are standing, if you feel a little bit dizzy, just march it through, come round the back of your chair, and then you're ready to make a start. I'm just going to move my chair to the side so that you can actually see what I'm doing, and I'm not actually hiding behind the chair. All right, so here we go. So we're going to start by tapping those toes forwards. You can hold on to the chair with 2 hands, or 1 hand, or not at all. Well done. Let's try tapping backwards. Reach backwards with those toes. Reach backwards. Well done. And see if you can tap sideways. Well done. Right, so whilst I haven't got any music on, if you wanted to put music on, please do. We're going to change that now, and we're going to bring your heel forward. Turn those toes up. That's it. Well, 2 more. 1 and 2. Back to a march. Right, next one. We're going to take a step to the side, and we're going to join it. So even if you're seated, you can do this. Okay, that's it. Try not to drag your foot, but actually lift your knee as you're stepping. And then back to a march. Well done. So this time we're going to take us like a step forwards and back. So it goes forwards and back. And again, forwards, back, forwards, back, forwards and back. Try that backwards. Backwards, forwards. Weight on your back foot, forwards. Weight on your backwards, forwards. Change legs. 1, 2, 3. We do 1 more. Okay, so this time we're going to step to the side. Weight on the sideways and the other way. Step to the side and back. Weight on this leg, back. Weight on this leg, back. 1 more on each side. And back to a march. Well done. This time we're going to do a similar thing, but we're going to step diagonally forward. So I'm going to come over to this corner over here, there and back. And again, there and back. Now this can be made easier by just a little step, keeping the back foot flat on the floor. 1 more. Okay, back to a march. We're going to change over and go in the other direction now. If you want to make it harder So I'll just do the easy one to start with, or an easy one. To make it harder, you can bend your back knee. Okay, so that is a lot more force going through those legs to push you forward, push you back. Okay, and an easy one. There, well done. And back to a march. Excellent. Alright, so there's two other things that I want to do. Now then, we're going to use our arms as well this time, just to get our heart rate up a little bit more. Alright, so you're going to come forward, we're going to lift your palms up. Lift those palms. That's it. Nice long back, nice easy breathing. Hopefully your breathing is a little bit heavier now. If you're finding that this is too hard, you can either just use one arm or no arms. If you think this is sufficiently hard enough for you, you choose. Okay, so going backwards now then, we're going to pull. Take your thumbs out, as if you're thumbing a lift as it were, or well, not with two hands, but maybe sort of putting the bedspread on or something like that. Shaking out the tablecloth. Two more. One and two. Okay, and sideways. We're going to tap sideways again, but we're going to lift two arms this time. How are you all doing? You okay? If you want to, you can take your hands to the side. Just keep them at shoulder height. If you want to just stay with that upright row, please do. Let's do two more. One and two. Heel forward now with a curl. A curl. You can leave your hands open. Well done. Again, if it's too hard, just do the one. Try and get that full range of movement from the hands at the side to hands towards your shoulders. Well done. I'm going to do two more. One and two. Okay, and let's just come back to a march again. Hopefully you're all feeling all right. We're just going to bring our heart rate down a little bit, so you can just slow it down a little bit. Just bring your heart rate down a little bit more. Okay, so our next exercise, it can be done in one of two ways. First one, with your chair, standing close to your chair, feet hip width apart. What I want you to do is little knee bends. Okay, little knee bend. Bottom backwards, knees are behind your toes. Okay, so that's how you're going to do it. So see if you can do 10 of those and come back to a march. If you're seated, I'll stay here. If you're seated, what I want you to do is I want you to do there, hover, and back down again. Just get your weight on your feet and back down again. Alright? Weight on your feet, hover, and back down. Again, up and down. Okay, so just standing up. I'm going to stand up, move my chair out the way. Alright, so hopefully you've done about 10, either standing or seating. When you've done that, just carry on marching for the moment. I'll give you a bit more time. You're working towards that. If 10 is too hard, you just work towards what you can do. The next one is going to be a sideways walk. This is quite a good one for when you're in the kitchen. You can have a little practice walking along your counter. Maybe you need to go to one cupboard to get your cereal. You can sideways walk towards your fridge and get out the bottle of milk. Alright, so what we need to do here, seated or standing, walks a step and join, step and join, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can do it from behind your chair, or you can do it seated. Keep going. So seated, it looks like this. you're going sideways and then you're coming back. So it's either seated or standing, that sideways walk. A bit of a dynamic balance there. Last one, and back to a march. Alright, so if you're standing, I want you to come and sit back down again. Just before, everybody just carry on sort of marching like this, and I'll show you how to sit back down. Or what I'd like you to do. So from behind your chair, you're going to come around to the front of your chair. Find the chair behind you so you can feel it touching the back of your legs. Put your hands down and push your bottom into the back of the chair. Once you're there, you can have a little rest for the moment whilst I set up the next exercise. So we're going to do some strengthening exercises now. So let me just move my chair back. And this time you will need your band. So you can just roll your band up, come to the front of your chair again, so from the back part, and then come forward. Again, if you need a drink, please have a drink. So you're going to put the band between your knees. All right, nothing magic about this band being between your knees, apart from the fact that if your knees don't stay together, the band falls on the floor, and we need your knees to stay together. So start with your feet together, and that your ankles are underneath your knees rather than back there. It's really hard to lift your toes when your ankles are all the way back there. So just bring them forward so they're under, or even a little bit further forward if that's going to make it easier for you. So from here, good posture again, chest lifted, shoulders back and down, head back in line with your spine. Firstly, move those heels apart. So you look a little bit pigeon-toed. Next one, you're going to lift those toes up, hold it there for 5 seconds whilst you're breathing out, maybe counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, toes down, sweep those toes out, lift your toes again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, toes down, in, toes up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down. Last one for today, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, down, out, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, toes down. Okay, take the band from between your knees, just lift those ankles. You might even want to do it a little bit more slowly because you might feel the strain here in the front of your foot. Okay, so just lift, so you're going to stretch it out actively, as it were, and then tap your toes. Why are we doing this? Well, it will help you, first of all, turn those toes up to put your heel forward as you're walking. Also helps to strengthen your ankles and improve your balance and improve the bone density in your ankles. So that's why we're doing that one. Our next exercise is to strengthen our upper backs. When we do a lot of sitting down, which if you've been shielding, you might well have done a lot of sitting down in your home, watching a lot more telly than normal. What tends to happen is that we tend to sit a little bit more rounded. These muscles get shorter, these get longer. So what we need to, and then that means that all of our organs here get a little bit squashed. If you were to find the distance between your ribs and your hips, it's probably quite narrow. if you lift your rib cage, shoulders back and down, you probably will see that it's increased, well, almost doubled. All right, so we need to try and get that nice tall, nice long back, so that all of your organs can work better and your posture is better, so you're less likely to end up stooping as you're walking. Okay, so to do this exercise, hands go underneath the band, thumbs out as it were. Bring your hands around the band. What we need to do is pull it outwards, bring it into your waist, your belly button, and then squeeze those shoulder blades together. Shoulders are back and down, and you're counting out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. Let me just show you from the side what it looks like. So you can pull it apart, bring it in, squeeze those shoulder blades together, breathing out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax. If you want to, you can do this one standing up. So if you're here, bring it in, squeeze those shoulder blades together. You can keep those feet moving if you want to. Okay, 5 seconds, and then sit down. Stop rather. And again, so we're going to do another 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. Well done. All right, put these bands on the back of your chairs, and we're going to just march again. So that's our strengtheners for today. What I'd like to do now then is come and do a little bit of a cool down now. So we're just going to tap your toes, take those elbows back, some stretches. Stretching's really important at the end of exercise, so that you can realign all of those muscles that you've been using. Helps to get rid of lactic acid that has built up during your exercise, and it helps to keep you more flexible as well. So here we go. So let's start off with our first one. We're going to do our upper body first. So feet a little bit further forward, tapping your toes. Take your hands onto the back of your chair or even onto your bottom. So you might want to put your hands sort of in this position, and then just squeeze those shoulder blades together, keeping your shoulder blades back and down. That's it. And I just like to keep my toes tapping, help keep the circulation going. And you can hold this maybe for 10 to 15 seconds. All right. 3, 2, 1, and release. All right. Now, if you find that quite an intense kind of stretch, do it in 5 seconds, and then release, and then do another 5 seconds. Well done. So let's take those arms back again. So I want to now do the stretch. Sorry, the purpose of that last stretch was to lengthen these muscles here. And so that means that your upper back strengthener that we just did that sort of helps work with that, balances it out as it were. Okay, opening your chest and the muscles at the back we were strengthening to pull those shoulder blades back together. So I want you this time to touch your head, take your hand down the back of your neck, scratch your back if you can. If your hand will only reach your head, doesn't matter, just put your hand underneath here and just try and push it up as far as it will go. Okay, hold it there, keep your head in line with your spine, try not to let your arm push your head off to the side, keep your head where it should be. All right, again we're breathing through our stretch, hold it for about 10 seconds and then down. And how about the other one? You might want to put your hand on your shoulder, walk it up, reach as far as you can, and then push. Lift your chest while you're doing that. You can reach a little bit further down your back if you lift your chest as well. Still breathing. Well done. And then lower that arm down. Give your arms a shake. Back to a march again. This time we're going to reach over your head, so it's that sideways stretch. We did it as a mobiliser earlier on. This time we're going to do it as a stretch, so we're going to hold it this time. Reach up over your head, and it is going over your head. There we are, and you're breathing 3, 2, 1, and down. Let's try that one more time. Up you go, leaning over, 1, 2, 3, 4, back and down. Have a little march, and let's go the other side. Ready? Up we go, over the top, 3, 2, 1, and back down again. Last one, 3, 2, 1, and back down again. Lovely, well done. So the next stretch then is going to be for your legs. So you can take your heels forward to start with, stretch them out. And this one's going to be a calf stretch. So I'm going to do it in 2 different ways because some of you might still be standing. So the first one then, you can take your heel forward with a bent knee. A bent knee, okay? Chest lifted, and you can just tap the other foot on the floor whilst you're doing that. Turning those toes up, we're looking for this stretch here. This aim of this is to lengthen your calf, so it will help increase the length of your stride. And if you're standing, we can do it like this. So change over legs if you haven't already done so. You're standing close to your chair. Take your one foot back, heel to the floor, bend your front knee, but keep your chest lifted. So you can feel again that stretch on your back leg. All right. You could do it, if this was a counter in your kitchen, you can imagine hands on the edge of the counter and doing your stretch, maybe whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil. Okay, and for this stretch you can hold it for 15 to 20 seconds. Alright, so whilst I'm standing, I'll do the next stretch, which is for the back of your legs here now. So if you're standing, just put your hands on your knees like this, put that one leg forward, draw it back just to make sure that your standing leg, the knee, is behind your toes. Alright, so that is the stretch, keeping your back nice and long, head in line with your spine rather than here. Okay, that nice long back. So that's the standing way to do that one. If you want to do it seated, again you're on the front third of your chair. If you're too far back, if you're anything like me, you can't get a straight leg because you've got short legs. So you need a hip walk forwards, and then you're going to put your heel forwards, other knee is bent, chest lifted, 2 hands on your bent knee. Try and keep those elbows in. It sort of helps to keep that nice long back. Once your elbows go out, you can end up with that rounded back. So there we are. And by keeping that back nice and long, you get that extra stretch here in your lower back. Helps to put the muscles in the right shape, right place for your lower back, stretching those muscles out, as well as your hamstrings here. That will sort of help you with your posture, maybe getting your trousers on and off as well. Okay, so that's that one. Let's have another look at one more stretch now then, and that's your inner thigh. We were doing some side steps earlier on. So if you sort of hip walk to the side of your chair this time, put your leg, let me just move over, put your leg out to the side so you've got the corner of the chair between your legs. Lean over the bent leg, and you should feel a nice stretch on the inner leg there. Okay, if you're standing, then you can step to the side and bend this leg. Okay, and then obviously change over. So these two you can hold for 10 seconds to 15 seconds. The hamstring stretch, see if you can hold it from 15 to 20 seconds. We want to try and elongate those two last, the calf and your hamstrings. We want to try and make those a little bit longer to keep you more mobile. All right, coming to the end of the class now. And what we need to do is try and help you relax and help also with a little bit of muscle control and balance as well. So we're going to do some rowing with oars. So I'm going to start off with it seated and then I'll stand up. So start here, move 1 foot forward, that is about 45-degree angle. I want you to turn your palms as if up and as it were hold an egg in each hand. So it's that very gentle grip of your finger and your thumb. Alright, now that's just the hold. You haven't really held eggs, alright, so just relax it, they're not going to fall out. So from there, what I want you to do is just reach forward to start with and then come back. So weight over your front leg and then come back. With your arms, I want you to reach up and pull back. Okay. So weight forward, reach upwards and pull back. Nice, easy breathing. If you'd like to try that standing, keep going if you're still seated. Stand alongside your chair, 1 foot forward, turn the other one about 45 degrees, and you're going to work over your front foot, bend both knees. Okay, so we'll start with that transfer of weight to start with, keeping these hips at the same height all the time, so we're not sort of going up and down, it's just this sort of floating, like seeing somebody's head over a fence as it were. Okay, and then with your arms reaching over your leg and then forward. So I'm not going to say any more, just want you to enjoy. And then bring that front leg in. And we're going to change over and do the other leg now. So you want the other leg forward, turn the other one about 45 degrees, bending those knees whether you're seated or standing, don't forget, same thing, up. Standing, just have a little shake, your arms out, well done. So you cross over your hands, seated or standing, bend your knees if you're standing, breathe in as you come up, and a breath out as you come down, one more time. Everybody, thank you very much. Hope to see you soon. Take care.